Hey, Autumn Ridge Church, Pastor Derek Freed here. Today is our last day for our devotional series, Encounters with Jesus. Now, don't worry, we will have more devotionals next week, but today we are ending this series with the story of Bartimaeus. So let's read in Mark chapter 10, verses 46 to 52. And they came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a great crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." And they called the blind man, saying to him, "Take heart, get up, he is calling you." And throwing off his cloak, he sprang up and came to Jesus. And Jesus said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the blind man said to him, "Rabbi, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Go your way, your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him on the way. As I read this story, I found it kind of fitting for today in the idea that Bartimaeus was a blind man, which meant he never really knew what was coming next. He might have an idea, but being blind, things could change in an instant. That's kind of like where we find ourselves today, not totally sure about what is coming next. Now, Jesus is leaving Jericho. My guess is that Bartimaeus had no idea that this would happen that day. And he's blind, so he didn't see Jesus coming. But as he sees and hears about Jesus coming, he cries out for Jesus. However, there's a lot going on. There's a great crowd is around Jesus. People are telling Bartimaeus to be quiet. Everything around him is trying to prevent he and Jesus coming together. But Bartimaeus doesn't give up. In fact, he cries out all the louder. And Jesus, in the midst of all the crowd, he hears and calls out to Bartimaeus. That's the thing. Jesus can cut through everything we think can get in the way for him hearing us. And Jesus called Bartimaeus to himself, like he is calling us to himself. And Bartimaeus' faith moves Jesus to heal him. And in this moment, it feels like everything can be keeping us from Jesus. There are a couple of things to be reminded of from this story. One, even when we least expect it or don't see it coming, Jesus shows up. Again, Bartimaeus wasn't looking or thinking about Jesus, but there he was. The second thing is no matter what is happening around us, Jesus still hears us. And the third is faith moves the heart of God. In this season we find ourselves in, may you find Jesus showing up, hearing you, and working in your life through faith.